Yeah, Simon, beautiful evening here. We're at the George Hotel just outside Darlington, and this is where Boris Johnson's come at the end of a pretty gruelling campaign. It's the last stop, or we think it's the last stop of his campaign. You've been on a helicopter and planes all around the country today.
I've covered hundreds and hundreds of miles, and it's very interesting. Obviously, I don't think anybody could at the moment call the outcome of this referendum, but there's a huge amount of support, and I think it's building because people can see there's a big opportunity now for this country. Take back control of so much that matters to us, not just the money that everybody knows about, £10.5 billion net a year, take back control of our immigration system, have one that is fair and balanced, but also take back control of so much of our democracy.
Nigel Farage says it's going to be tight tomorrow.
Well,
how tight do you think it's going to be?
I'm not making any predictions about that.
Are you optimistic?
I'm always optimistic. I believe that the British people will look at this and think, this is a time for us to have faith in ourselves and to believe in our democracy.
Your successor as London Mayor said it's been Project Hate on the Vote Leave side. Well, what do you think of that?
I totally disagree with that. I think we've been unrelentingly optimistic about what our country can achieve if we believe in ourselves and we believe in our great democratic institutions. I think, on the other hand, I would say that it's been the Remain campaign that has been unremittingly negative about our country, running us down, rubbishing our economy and our potential to do brilliantly outside the EU. Or that's been their recent line. Actually, of course, a few months ago, before Project Fear kicked in, they were much sunnier about it. But there's one point I want to make for everybody who is thinking about which way to go, and I know there will be people tonight who are thinking, yes, I want to leave, but perhaps we'd be better off waiting and fighting for change from within, because they ought to know about what Jean-Claude Juncker, the President of the European Commission, has said about the prospects of renegotiation. If you forgive me, I'm going to tell you word for word.
Briefly.
British voters have to know there will be no kind of renegotiation. We have concluded a deal with the Prime Minister. He got the maximum he could receive, and we gave the maximum we could give, so there will be no kind of renegotiation.
Well, people might not be surprised by that.
But I think that goes to show that there is no chance of fighting our corner from within and hoping to get any change. If you want change now in our relations with Europe, if you think the EU is going in the wrong direction, if you think it's fundamentally different from what we signed up for in 1972, which it is, then I think you should vote Leave and take back control tomorrow.
If you lose tomorrow, can you work with David Cameron still? How damaging has this been for the Conservative Party?
Never mind me. I think the Conservative Party can certainly pull together very well indeed. And I think
it's been civil war, hasn't it, for the last few weeks?
You talk to Conservatives who remember what it was like in the Maastricht feuds in the 90s, which I do remember. Actually, it was much worse than this. Everybody's got plenty of friends who are Leavers or Remainers, and I'm sure everybody will. Look, there is an agenda for us, our Conservative Party, to deliver one nation Conservative government, to get on with better schools, hospitals, better infrastructure, in order to deliver a dynamic, wealth-creating economy. That's what One Nation Conservatism is all about, and we're going to go on and do that.
You can still be friends with David Cameron after all of this?
The Conservative Party, I have no doubt at all, will be a nest of singing birds once this whole thing is out of the way.
All right, Boris Johnson, thank you very much indeed.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.